Thank you for joining us on another weird day in America. Here's a question. Are we sure Donald Trump isn't just stuck in a White House bathtub and too embarrassed to call for help? The POTUS refuses to GOTUS. He still won't concede to Joe Biden, and by all accounts, he has no plans to do so anytime soon. It's very strange. We're basically ignoring the President of the United States like he's a crazy guy on a subway platform. He's ranting and raving. We just raise the volume on our AirPods and hope he doesn't shove us into an oncoming train. But even with all this tension, Trump has not lost his sense of humor. For instance, this morning he tweeted, "We will win," which is funny. We have a reality show host who will not accept reality. How pleased with himself is Vladimir Putin right now? That 2 million rubles or whatever he put into interfering in the election in 2016, what a payoff. Might be the greatest investment of all time. It's like he hit the Destroy America lotto. Republicans are handling the president with kid gloves because those are the only gloves that fit him. But I have to say, I'm less disgusted with our toddler-in-chief throwing his oatmeal at the wall than I am with the Republican congresspeople who are going along with this. The baby's right. That oatmeal should go on the wall. He is within his rights to throw it on the wall. We need to let the process of oatmeal flinging play out. Only a handful of prominent Republicans have acknowledged Biden's victory. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo today, I don't know what Trump has on this guy, but he's going to have a hard time unwedging that big head of his from inside Trump's bottom.
Is the State Department currently preparing to engage with the Biden transition team? And if not, at what point does a delay hamper a smooth transition or pose a risk to national security?
There will be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration.
Can you say that again without breathing so heavily this time? Attorney General Bill Barr has ordered the Justice Department to look into allegations of voter fraud. To be clear, there have been no credible allegations of fraud that would affect the outcome of the election in any of the states. None. This is happening out of pure spite. Trump's like the guy who puts 20 plays of Achy Breaky Heart on the jukebox before he leaves the diner, okay? The White House has ordered top government officials to ignore the Biden transition team. They won't even sign the paperwork to get it going. There's a Trump appointee who has to sign off, and so far, she's refusing to do so. Her name is Emily Murphy. That's Emily. You can call her Karen if you like. But I have to say, put Emily back up there for a second, because I love it when we meet a new character in the last season of a show, you know? This is just ridiculous. I think I have a solution, though, that can make everyone happy. All right, here's the deal. President Trump, we're going to let you be president again. We're going to let you stay for another term. But you have to do it in yoga pants, okay? All 4 years. Not under the clothes, not under the suit. Anytime you have a meeting, photo op, you welcome the Prime Minister of Tonga to the Oval Office, climb onto Air Force One, you do all of it in Lululemon yoga pants. And if we ever catch you not wearing them, you have to leave. Think about it, though. You have an hour to respond. Boy, would I love to be a fly in Trump's dipping sauce right now. What is going on in that White House? Hi, Dad. It's Jared, Ivanka's husband. You put me in charge of peace in the Middle East. Anyway, the kids are wondering about where they're going to go to school next semester. Well, do you think we'll be here or back in New York? And then he gets hit with a can of Diet Coke. Trump hasn't spoken in public since Thursday. This was his official schedule today. His official schedule was no schedule, no public events scheduled. This is yesterday, no public events scheduled. He did do one thing over the weekend. He took a 2-day golf trip. There is a big event this weekend coming up, but it's not clear whether or not Trump will attend. They're throwing him an I'm Not Fired festival called the March for Trump to stop the steal and spread the virus, of course. And they're using this whole, recount thing to raise money. Team Trump has sent about 150 fundraising emails this week asking for help with this effort to invalidate the election. But if you read the fine print, it says 60% of contributions will be sent to the campaign's general election account to pay off the debt they have. Basically, at this point, any money you give to Trump goes towards paying, Kimberly Guilfoyle's dry bar bill. Let's break down what they're... So Trump owes $420 million to God knows who. We don't know. 62% of the money goes there. Another 9% goes to Melania's renegotiated prenuptial agreement. 7% to men's shapewear. 14% for DJ, TJ, and Eric's allowance if they do their chores. And whatever's left over, McRibs. That's how it goes. Trump also launched his own political action committee, allegedly to help raise money for Republican candidates. The only pack Donald Trump should be involved with right now is packing up his and moving it to Mar-a-Lago. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, too, Guillermo.
You're welcome.
Thanks for your support over the years.
Thank you, yeah.
Meanwhile, while the president has gone missing, many are asking, for the first time ever, where is Mike Pence? Well, Mike Pence he was supposed to go on vacation tonight to Florida. That's right, as the country's breaking records for most new cases of COVID in a single day, the head of the task force was headed to a beach with mother in a one-piece to enjoy a virgin pina colada, which is also his Secret Service nickname. So I don't know why, but I love the idea of Mike Pence on vacation in Florida. It makes me laugh. I wonder if he could even get a tan. He seems like he might be like an untoastable slice of white bread. Anyway, after a lot of criticism, he canceled the trip, and his office said he has to stay in Washington in case the president needs to kick him or something. So don't worry, Mike, you have plenty of time off ahead. Trump has been trying to make himself feel better during this difficult time by firing people. Yesterday, he fired the Secretary of Defense, and we learned that he gave the chief scientist behind the government's reports on climate change the axe on Friday. So climate problem solved, I guess. You can't say he's not consistent. If we don't test for COVID, there's no COVID. If we don't report on climate change, the climate doesn't change. Now hand me my unfiltered cigarettes and stuff a roll of asbestos in my pants. Trump has already named the replacement. The new acting director of the U.S. Global Change Research Program is a Sharpie pen in a lab coat. So congratulations to him. By the way, I don't know who did this, but if you go to loser.com, the website, this is what pops up. Trump's Wikipedia page. I don't know. That's got to be Hillary, right? You know, there's been so much excellent coverage of politics over the past week or so, but I want to congratulate especially the gang over at MSNBC who unwittingly provided us with tonight's award for excellence in reporting.
How the Trump administration is handling the transition with the incoming Biden team, or not handling it, we should say, to a certain extent. This time, it involves our intelligence community. Ken, what have you learned, sir? Okay.
It was his day to pick the kids up at school, and in other troubling news, earlier tonight on ABC, we broke in a new bachelorette. It's weird, the bachelorette had a more peaceful transition of power than the presidency this time. Last week, Claire left the show after one date with Dale. They got engaged, and so tonight, the bachelor-elect, Tayshia, took the reins. They added 4 new guys for Tayshia, and one in particular, a guy named Spencer, ruffled some feathers. I'm not exactly sure why, but the other guys do not like him at all.
I see guys like you every day. It's rough enough in my particular area that when we come across guys like you, we call you lunch meat. Okay? Because you like to talk a lot of and I know you're the new guy. If I'm off base, you can let me know. But if I am on base and you want to with me, we can go.
Okay, noted.
Wow, that is a lot of sexual energy there, isn't it? I bet those two wind up together, I really do. Guillermo, $50, Riley and Spencer. You want it?
Yeah, sure, Spencer.
Okay.
It's gonna be Spencer.
Chris Harrison had a surprise sit-down tonight. They brought Dale and Claire back, and my favorite part of this interview was when we found out Dale didn't even have Claire's phone number until after they were engaged. That's true love. I hope this works out for them, but it won't. And all of a sudden now, Chris Harrison has turned into like a pushy mother-in-law.
What is next for you guys? Moving in together, wedding, what's up?
I think, like, you know, obviously...
Babies!
really, like, We talked.
Yeah, you just skipped right over that.
Yeah, he sure did. Uh-oh. Let's look at that reaction again.
Babies.
Really, like.
Right. Run, Dale, run. I think the answer he was looking for was Dancing with the Stars, but you didn't give it. The Stars are still dancing, by the way, even though COVID cases are going up almost everywhere. They're still doing the cha-cha-cha. We've seen a spike here in California. Our governor, Gavin Newsom, says the rise in cases is obviously sobering. But I would argue the opposite. Everyone I know is drinking more than ever. They say that up to 15% of these new cases are a result of outdoor dining, which was supposed to be safe. I guess it's not that safe. Some states are allowing indoor dining, which is definitely not safe. And some restaurants aren't taking any precautions at all.
If you want a safe, socially distanced dining experience, then take your PPE somewhere else, Snowflake. That ain't how we do things at Rutgers. No face shields, no masks, just fun. Belt out the hits with our unwashed karaoke microphone. Dig into our Wuhan hot wings, or have a heaping helping of room temperature oysters. At Rutgers, if germs were real, we'd be able to see them. Located in Florida, because of course it is. At Rutgers, no shirt, no mask, no problem.
Thanks for watching. Remember, every time you click the subscribe button, one of your enemies gets destroyed.